We've hired a new coach. Talked about it last week. You know, I love it. Mike McCarthy, I think he's going to do a phenomenal job in Dallas. I think that within 3 years that Dallas will have their 6th Super Bowl championship. In fact, I have money on it with 2 different friends.
I'm not one of those friends.
He's
I don't have
not
money
one of
either
them.
way.
But I do have money on it, so I put $100 on it. So technically, I have $200 on it that within 3 years, Dallas wins the Super Bowl. Now, obviously, this season, we're not counting it. So it would be the Super Bowl that's in 20, 21, or 21, 22, and 23. So this is Super Bowl 54.
So you're talking
it'd
about
be
Super
55,
Bowl
56,
56, 57.
Yep. Dallas will win one of those 3.
I do really like you. I like you as a fan putting money on your team like that. The problem is, and you're very confident because you didn't take any odds. When you should have taken odds.
I should have.
Should have got like 4-1 on that or something. But you were feeling good about the hire. I'm not going to bet on it, and I do think the talent's there. I'm not going to say they are. I'm not going to say they're not. Well, I'll say what I think is going on is McCarthy has a 3-year deal. And what I think they're going to do is I told you the other day, and I had heard this. I'm not just coming up with this. I had heard that they're going to groom Witten to be the head coach.
And honestly, if that's the path that Jason Witten wants to go and move into coaching, then, hey, I say put him on that staff and start to groom him. I don't think that you elevate. It's like some people were saying, he should be the head coach before they hired McCarthy, like that Jason Witten should be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't agree with that. I mean, he has no coaching experience. You can't go from 0 experience to being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, arguably the most notable brand in the NFL. Right?
The team that's worth
the team that's worth the most.
The team that's worth the most money in the NFL.
Yeah.
The team is. One thing might change on that, and it won't even be anything that Jerry's doing, or no fault for them. It's kind of crazy to think that perhaps the Las Vegas Raiders will end up being the most valuable team in the NFL.
Yeah. Because Alan Povenmire.
They have that spot because
What's up, Alan?
It's going to be the most expensive ticket, but the cheapest place to fly to and stay in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy too. I'm like, I don't know any word on if they're going to throw like slot machines in the stadium and stuff. I don't know if they will or not.
They will. It's Vegas.
I bet they will.
It's
I bet they'll have.
They'll try.
I bet they'll have live. They may end up. I don't know.
They might have a live window where you can bet.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's going to work with the players being there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The NFL's got rules, I'm sure, on that stuff.
Yeah,
or if they haven't had rules, they're going to have them on it because it's not fair to the other franchises either to have kind of those kind of things in there either. So
yeah,
wonder why it's taken so long for somebody to actually get a team there.
Rooftops.
Is that it?
Rooftops, yeah. When they built the Legends, I was good friends with Carol Marinovich and Ernie Johnson, her husband, and we were talking to them, and they tried to get a movie theater company to come in and put a movie theater out in the Legends. All the major companies said no, not enough rooftops, so they went ahead and built it and hired a management company, and now look at. I mean, it's
now it's an AMC.
Well, but at first it was. I don't remember what it was at first, but they hired a management company to manage it but it's always been busy. They just people didn't see the value in the experience at the Legends, and there's still not a ton of rooftops out that way.
Yeah. DJ Showtime just jumped in. Guess he's not spinning some tunes.
Okay, so where I was going with that Cowboys hat thing.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
I've paid attention to Jimmy Johnson since he was at Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Different Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
He still said, "How about them Cowboys?"
Mm-hmm.
But man, what an honor and what an emotional night in the boxes for those two guys that Troy Aikman and Jimmy.
Jimmy, last year when Jerry Jones went in, he mentioned Jimmy Johnson in his speech. I think that was good, but
it's not healed yet.
No, it's not.
It's far from it.
The thing that bugs me, and I said this on my Snapchat that evening after the announcement was made, and Jimmy Johnson definitely deserves to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that. What bugs me about it is that he's not in the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor.
And somebody else brought that up too on social media, and it will come.
He will get there. We
Jerry
actually
may be gone and in heaven when it happens.
That actually
Yeah.
might be. You actually might be right about that, because I was going to say, what's the next step to getting that relationship healed? We had talked about maybe it's just spend
Two
some time,
stubborn guys
just
not being stubborn.
spend some
Yeah.
time
How
together
about that?
and like hammer out the differences. But I think you know what, you might be right. It might take Jerry. I'm
Might
not
take his
saying I
son-
don't want him to pass away,
It may
but
take
it may
his
take
son-
him passing away.
his son to put it up there.
because
and
to
heal it.
me,
Yeah.
you cannot write the story of the Dallas Cowboys and not mention Jimmy Johnson.
No.
And so that to me,
Even
that's
Barry Switzer, you can't. I mean,
yeah. I mean
because-
that to me, I think Barry Switzer's a different story, but I think
But the story of how it became Barry was
Yeah,
the story
of Jimmy.
of the past.
Mhm.
And Barry Switzer was a coach when Jimmy was playing there. I think Barry and Jerry played at the same time at Arkansas.
yeah.
But Jimmy was a
Jimmy
player.
Johnson. Jimmy
He's
Johnson and Jerry Jones were teammates at
Okay.
Arkansas,
So
and Barry
Barry's-
Switzer was on staff.
Right. And,
Yeah.
But that story goes back years, and I can't remember the line it was whenever those two were getting into it. And he goes, I don't even think Jerry Jones was thinking when he said it. He goes, well, fine, I'll just go get Barry Switzer, because see, Barry and Jimmy went at it at OU and Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. OU has always had OSU's number.
Yeah, I mean the deal is, Jerry Jones was out celebrating the Super Bowl,
Right.
second Super Bowl win, and
You
he
remember,
had
obviously.
he
You remember?
I don't remember because I wasn't I was pretty young then, but I've read about it and everything. So Jerry had some adult beverages, which nothing wrong with that. He was an adult, and there was some reporters, kind of needing at him, and he said that anybody could coach this team to a Super Bowl.
And then he brought up Barry.
Well, I don't even
threw
know
that
that he
same
brought up Barry.
conversation.
I don't even know that he
remember,
brought up
but
Barry
threw
right
Barry
then.
in Jimmy's face.
Yeah, I've heard about that. But the deal is,
word got back to
We're talking
Jimmy.
Cowboys.
Yeah, word got back to Jimmy that hey, this is what Jerry said. It was on tape, and two prideful guys, two stubborn guys that both had helped build that brand,
Right.
and I firmly believe
One
that.
thought they were bigger than the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I think neither one of them could have done it without the other one. I mean, Jimmy didn't have the success in Miami that he did
It's
in
kind of
Dallas.
like us three right now. If one of us starts thinking we're bigger than the other, it's not going to work.
Well, I mean, I am bigger than Austin.
You're
Physically.
bigger than me, too.
yeah, you bigger than me. You got about 6 pounds on me, brother.
That's all right. It's coming off. I'm back on the keto diet today.
I think what happened with that, like we like to say with Jerry, and he's drinking a little bit, and they start saying that's how he felt, and I think that's still how he feels.
Oh, yeah.
He was just he felt enough. He drank enough to where he felt like he could just say whatever he actually was thinking. Because when he's not drinking, he's probably
Well,
yes, sir, hello. I mean,
Well,
he's still
yeah.
he's still. Well, guys, but like he had a little bit to drink, and so he'd like to get on Jimmy a little bit.
well,
'cause-
that's just him. I mean, it's just like we were talking about him getting ready Jason Garrett. He wasn't going to do it right away because everybody wanted him to do it right away. He's just
Yeah.
stubborn, and
so he did it on his own time.
that's my feeling.
And
Yeah.
technically, they didn't fire him. They let his contract run out.
I
and his
told you, I
contract-
thought that's what they were going to do.
His contract ran out today, the 14th of January, 2020. So Jason Garrett is officially no longer an employee of the Dallas Cowboys.
And
Now
then
you-
he'll probably end up being an employee tomorrow because
the
they're
front
going to
office.
hire him to be a front office guy.
They could. I mean,
Jerry,
there was
It
rumors
depends
about
on how
that.
it went down.
Jerry loves this dude,
Jerry does love him.
Because
You
he
know.
needs to start loving some Jimmy Johnson.
and by all
does.
accounts, man, I'll say it's about. I mean, and Jason Garrett's a good dude. You saw the
He
pictures.
is.
The pictures after that last game. He knew it was his last game. Yeah, I'm sure him and Jerry had actually talked, and Jerry was like, "All right, buddy, something or other, this and that." And so his whole family came on the field. He's playing catch them like he's a good dude. He just
Yeah, I've never once said that Jason Garrett is not a good person.
definitely not. He's just a lot like he's a 500 ball coach.
Yeah.
Well, and
He's average.
Jimmy Johnson is no sweetheart when it comes to handling things either. I mean,
Oh, no.
I can remember the OU Oklahoma State days and how he handled press conferences there, but
Or how he was in Miami when they beat Flutie. He was punching the Flutie Flakes box.
I mean, he went from playing, being the third, fourth guy in the pecking order in Oklahoma to being right on top in Miami.
yeah.
I mean, he went from here to here.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm talking about Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins.
He's
but
punching.
that
they beat that, and they're punching. He's punching the Flutie Flakes box. Flutie Flakes is all about.
But
you get money back to cancer.
Funny part about that
He's
story
punched him, that thing.
is that Jimmy Johnson, Doug Flutie, when he was at Boston College, beat the University of Miami on a Hail Mary pass. And so Jimmy finally, everybody had
Beat
kind of
Flutie.
said, Flutie got you, and he'd been hearing that for years. And so he finally got
I finally
it.
got
So,
Flutie. So
I
I'm punching
mean,
some Flutie Flakes. But with
Everybody loves a short quarterback that can run.
with Jimmy Johnson,
Yeah.
I do love Doug Flutie.
Well,
No, the thing about Jimmy Johnson
You go
too
back
is
to the Vikings days too. Whenever
Randall.
no, back in the 80s, 70s. Golly, I'm getting old.
That's Gary's time. I don't know.
Who was it?
Vikings,
Yeah, who was
the coach,
no the quarterback there?
Fran Tarkenton.
Fran Tarkenton. Yeah, another short guy that could scramble.
Yeah.
Run a little bit.
That's fun. Speaking of scrambling, I heard Pat Mahomes' mom on the news this week saying, "No more running. You're grounded." She
Take
talks
it
to
easy.
him. Hey,
Yeah.
that's how she talks to him.
He was the leading rusher. He
Without him,
Mahomes does a nice job of picking his spots to when he is going to take off. Nobody touched. I mean, I think he took off like 3 or 4 times. Nobody touched him every
Yeah.
time. Wide open lanes, and he just kind of takes off. So.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about the Chiefs, obviously, but
we're saving the best for last.
yeah,
We're saving the Super Bowl champs for last.
yeah. A couple
He
notes.
said, "Yeah." Did you hear it? He agreed.
We're saving the Chiefs for last.
Yeah, it's his boy
we'll get to
Lamar's
those
not in
picks.
there anymore.
But a couple news and notes. Last Friday night I texted you. I was at the Shawnee Mission East basketball game, and I shared the clip on Twitter. But we were playing at Shawnee Mission Northwest, and with about it was a back and forth game. We had kind of led by I think about 10 or 15 at one point. They stayed in it. Shawnee Mission Northwest came down, hit a 3 with 2 seconds to go up by 2 points. Hey, we call our timeout, and Coach Hare draws up a play, whatever. We get the ball to Nick Aaronsburg, our senior player that has signed with Rockhurst University. He comes down in the 2 seconds, drains a 3 to win the game by 1.
I saw that.
And the crowd goes crazy. That was some really good filmed
A lot of
by
students
yours
there that
truly.
night.
There was. Not a lot, but there was a good amount for an away game, especially.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went crazy, and I kind of filmed some of that celebration and shared that on Twitter. But that was an exciting game, and that's why I love high school sports, because those kids are just playing to have fun for the pride of their school. And when Shawnee Mission Northwest hits that 3 with 2 seconds to
Go
go,
Lancers.
you're like, man.
I can say that now. I'm a parent of a Lancers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, for Nick Aaronsburg to come down and to hit that shot and for the win, I mean, I'm just, Coach Hare's a great guy. We've had him on several times, and, he does a great job with those kids and getting them prepared. So they have another game tonight at Gardner, Edgerton.
That's a long ways.
That is. So I
you
doubt we
going?
have as many. I'll be there, yeah. I'm in all the games.
You have to go to all.
Yep. I film. I'm the
You're just not a
official
homer.
filmer.
You're not a homer.
No, I'm the
He's
official
working.
filmer.
He's
of-
You're a homer, but you're not a homer.
Yeah, they'll beat Gardner, I think.
Yeah.
I know Coach Hare will be ready, so I just wanted to give the shout out to those guys. And then Shawnee Mission North hired a new coach this week. It was announced last night or this morning. I saw the announcement on Twitter, but Andy Walter, a guy I worked with my first 3 years at Shawnee Mission East, he was the O-line coach, offensive coordinator. My first 3 years there, he won a state championship on that staff in 2014, and then won another state championship on the Bishop Miege staff in, that would have been 2017, I believe. No, not 17. 18. Anyway, he won one at at Bishop Miege.